For decades, many football fans believed one thing: the FIFA World Cup could only be won by nations from Europe or South America. Brazil, Argentina, Germany, France, Italy, Spain. These countries dominated football history. And whenever an Asian nation arrived at the World Cup, expectations were usually limited. Reach the knockout stage, cause a surprise, make the country proud, then go home. But Japan no longer thinks that way. Because Japan is not coming to the World Cup just to participate. Japan is coming to win it. Over the last 20 years, Japanese football has quietly built one of the most impressive development systems in world football. While many countries focused only on short-term success, Japan focused on the future. Youth academies, coaching education, technical development, player discipline, infrastructure. Everything was planned. Everything was calculated. Everything was designed with one goal in mind: creating a nation capable of becoming world champions. And today, many football experts believe Japan may be closer to that dream than ever before. Welcome back to Ball Hub. Today we're looking at Japan's plan to win the World Cup. Why they believe they can do it. Why Europe respects them. And why the rest of the football world should take them seriously. Because what Japan is building might be one of the smartest football projects on the planet. Let's start with the foundation: the youth system. Unlike many football nations, Japan doesn't rely on luck to discover talent. Young players are identified early. They receive professional coaching. They learn tactical discipline from a young age. And perhaps most importantly, they are taught how to think about football. The result is clear. Every generation seems stronger than the one before it. And that development doesn't stop inside Japan. Many of Japan's best players now compete in Europe. England, Germany, Spain, France, Italy. Week after week, they face elite competition. They learn from world-class coaches. And they return to the national team with valuable experience. This has transformed Japan into a completely different football nation. Years ago, Japan hoped to compete with football giants. Today, they expect to compete with them. And that's a huge difference. Another major strength is discipline. Few teams in international football are as organized as Japan. Players understand their roles. They follow tactical instructions. They work for each other. And they rarely lose concentration. This makes them extremely difficult to play against. Even when facing more talented opponents, Japan often finds a way to remain competitive. Because football isn't always won by the most talented team. Sometimes it's won by the smartest team. And Japan is one of the smartest teams in world football. Then there's the mentality. Perhaps the most important part of all. Japan no longer fears the biggest names. They no longer enter matches expecting to lose. They believe they belong. And recent World Cups have strengthened that belief. Victories against major football nations have shown Japanese players that the gap is not as large as many people once believed. Every upset victory creates confidence. Every strong performance creates belief. And belief can be dangerous in tournament football. History has shown that every football revolution begins with belief. Could Japan become the first Asian nation to win the World Cup? It's still an enormous challenge. The traditional powers remain strong. Argentina, France, Brazil, England, Portugal, Spain. All possess incredible quality. But Japan isn't trying to copy those countries. Japan is building its own path, its own identity, its own football culture. And year after year, the results continue to improve. The dream that once sounded impossible now sounds realistic. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday. Because Japan isn't preparing for one tournament. Japan is preparing for football history. And if their current project continues to grow, the day may come when the football world witnesses something it has never seen before. An Asian nation lifting the FIFA World Cup. And if that happens, don't say Japan surprised you. Because they'd been planning it for years.